Hey, what's up, trans youth? It is Sunday, and I'm confused. We have two topics this week, which is kind of odd and a first for this channel. Um, the reason that it happened is because at first we chose a very repetitive subject, and then we decided to X that whole thing out, talk about why we X'd it out, and then start on a completely new topic that may or may not be repetitive. So I'm just going to talk about them both because I feel that it's necessary. The first one is with Arden about asking repetitive questions, things that we've already answered on Trans Youth, but people ask anyway. And the second one is on male eggs and female sperm, which is really weird. And I haven't researched it or anything like that, unfortunately, but I'll state my opinion anyway. So the first topic with Arden is kind of odd. We have been repeating ourselves several times with topics and questions, answering people's questions after we have already tackled the subject on Trans Youth. Now, the reason this is happening, I think, is because people are coming in to Trans Youth and watching us on Trans Youth after we've tackled their subject. So when they ask a question, we already know that we've done it, but we have to answer it anyway because it's like the only question we've gotten. So we have decided that we need to kind of put a stop to it. We need to kind of chop that whole repetitive thing off. We're not really going anywhere with the channel, and it's not helping anyone who has already been on the channel, especially from the get-go. Because when we answer a repetitive question, sure, that one person, in this case Arden, may get their answer. And yes, they'll be happy with it. But all the other people on Trans Youth, all the other 1,000 plus, have a completely useless video week that doesn't really help them, doesn't teach them anything, isn't really relevant. So I'm really sorry, Arden, and I don't mean any offense. I don't want to be like getting your goat or anything. I don't want to be lecturing you or punishing you or anything like that. I just think that we need to put this repetitive thing to a stop. I'm really hoping you guys are understanding / getting why we're saying that, and I hope that you start giving us more questions regardless of whether you know what the other videos are or not. But there's really no way to fix this problem. All I can really say, because all of the people who are coming in new, I don't expect you to watch however many weeks of Trans Youth channel that we've done in order to actually get the answer to a question that you want answered. All I can say is try and watch previous week's videos. I don't expect you to watch them all, but I kind of would like you to watch a lot of them. That having been said, it's all right over here in the video section on the Trans Youth channel, the actual channel, and they're all right there. There's 200 videos. Don't expect you to watch them all, but like one from every week, that's like not even doable. But we would like you to just kind of skim over titles and things, maybe look for a relevant answer before you ask your question. We are still encouraging you to ask questions and everything, and don't worry if you can't find a video and you worry that it might be repetitive regardless, because we are screening them. This is primarily our problem, not yours. We don't expect you guys to know everything, even if you came in to Trans Youth late. So that's pretty much covered. The second one is kind of odd. It might be repetitive, might not be repetitive, but if you guys remember, a couple weeks ago on Trans Youth, we talked about organ donations, sexual organ donations, the transplant of a uterus or ovaries or any other portion of the reproductive system. And it's kind of related to that because in general, I'm answering it the exact same way. If you remember, My video was about, this is awesome for science and it's a great accomplishment and I see it going somewhere. And it's not really relevant to me personally. The same thing is with this topic. Essentially, the topic is science has managed to remove sexually identifying genetics from an egg and a sperm, which is supposed to produce a child. The actual relevancy of it is so that gay and lesbian couples and transgender couples can have their own genes in their child. And it tosses the surrogate out. It tosses the whole idea of having a surrogate parent out. The difference here is, my opinion says this won't be going as far as I see the organ stuff going. The reason being is because I see two purposes for this. One is tossing out the surrogate, which makes GLBT happy, but it's not necessarily necessary. And the second one is not even related to GLBT, and I'll talk about that later. The first one being its relevancy to gay, lesbian, and trans couples is that they can actually take a sperm and an egg and have their own genetics each implanted into them in order to produce a child of their own so that they can have children. The irrelevant thing here, the thing that kind of renders it moot, in my opinion, is that in the case of a lesbian couple, you still have to inject a Y chromosome if you want a child. There are certain exceptions to that rule, yes, but in general, when there is an absence in Y chromosome, there will not be a male. Having said that, the surrogate is still relevant in them. For a gay couple with X and Y, male gay couple, that's not a problem. So that's kind of iffy to me. The other reason I think it's rendered moot and irrelevant is my personal opinion. I don't think that genetics in your child should really matter. I don't care if they have blonde or black hair, green or blue, if they're male or female, or if they end up being transgendered, gay, lesbian, whatever. Do not care. My opinion is that we should be more worried about the way we raise the children than the way the children are born. The traits don't matter so much in a physical way as they do in a social way. I want my child to be nice, courteous, open-minded, and well-thinking in all of this. And all of that is a nurture aspect. All of that is learning in society, learning to understand methods and ways, not nature, which is your attributes and the way that you can't help being. Like, I don't care in any way, shape, or form if my child has a big nose or anything like that. I just want a smart, intellectual child. And yes, intelligence can have something to do with genetics. There is IQ, which is genetic. But I don't particularly care, really, at all. Now, the one other thing before I end this is that I see no future for this whole clean slate thing in sperm and eggs, except in a non-revelatory manner, in that we can actually experiment with sperm and eggs producing an embryo that is not human. Because we can restrain the DNA that goes into the clean slate, we can likewise remove the human aspects. We can just look at the disease. We can look at all of the syndromes, like Down syndrome or something like that, which is pretty cool. That's pretty much it on my video for trans youth justice. So if you would like to ask any questions or anything like that, completely feel free. Send them to transyouthchannel@gmail.com. We need questions in order to continue this, and we need original questions to keep this non-repetitive. Don't worry about it, though, if you think it might not be original. Just kind of take an extra effort to watch more of our videos over here for week to week. They're all there. And then ask your question. Who knows? You might be answered on our first week or something like that. So feel free to check that out and send your questions to transyouthchannel@gmail.com. And while you're here, try my survey down here in the descriptions. I'm doing that for a transmap.org site for a survey and map answering the question, where is the best place to live? So if you can just do that, I need a lot of data. I need like 500 people to do this, and we're currently at like 60. So toss me your opinions. You can personal message them. You can toss them into comments on this video or my other videos on my own channel or anything like that. I'll get it one way or another. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. And I will see you guys next week on Trans Youth Channel and on my own channel on Fridays. Bye guys. Love ya.